Welcome back, everybody, to Niners Now, and thank you to Underdog Fantasy for sponsoring this video. I'm your host, Brady Grustas, at GrustasBrady on X. You can follow me there. And today we've got a progress update on the Trent Williams situation, and luckily, it's a good update. We'll talk about that today, and of course, stick around until later in the show because the 49ers 2024 draft class is entering a huge year 3, and the coaching staff is going to have to bring out the best in them, but I'm a little more confident in some members of that draft class than others. Before we begin, go ahead and subscribe down below. The support has been great recently, so please leave a like, leave a comment, hype the video if you can. Once again, huge shout out to Underdog Fantasy for sponsoring the video. Let's get right into it. Starting, of course, with the Trent Williams update. According to John Lynch, the contract extension talks with Trent Williams have, quote, intensified, and he thinks that they are on the precipice of something good. Now, of course, nothing is official until it's official, right? With contracts, and when you're dealing with money, there's always a chance for things to go sideways. But everything that Lynch has said to this point makes it very clear that they want this done before the draft, they being the 49ers. They want to take care of it before the draft and have it be done with. And with only a few weeks to go, I mean, we're, 3 weeks away from the NFL draft at this point? It really seems like they are buckling down and making some serious headway on this extension. And for good reason. The Niners are toast without Trent Williams, if they can't find a replacement, that is. So if they're going to need a replacement, you better go get one in the draft, right? Whether you're signing Trent Williams or not, you want to have your resolution and you want to have your answer by draft night. So the 49ers are cooking on that Trent Williams extension, on that offensive lineman extension. I'm pumped about it. What do you think? Do you think the 49ers are going to get this deal done before the draft? Let me know down below in the comments section. And we got a little bit more offensive line news as well from this John Lynch press conference regarding new free agent addition Brett Toth. I do believe it is pronounced Toth and not Toth. John Lynch said that they brought in Brett Toth to play center, although he will get a chance in the left guard competition. So that is now 2 pieces of really, really good news regarding the offensive line. This is exactly what I wanted to hear regarding Brett Toth. Toth was much better at center than left guard last year for the Philadelphia Eagles. And according to some of my buddies who are Eagles fans, he was actually the best center on their roster last year. He leaves, signs a 1-year deal with San Francisco, and they get some really nice value on that O-line. What people say about offensive line traditionally is you have to get your best 5 players on the field. And that makes sense, right? You want those guys to be versatile enough positionally that you can play your best 5 players. That is true. So if that's the case, Toth may end up playing guard for this team. If he's one of their 5 best offensive linemen and they think he can play a little guard, they're going to put him out there. But I am glad that the 49ers recognize and are openly admitting that his strength is the center position, because I totally agree. I think that's absolutely true. And I can't help but wonder, is this some competition for Jake Brendel? Definitely something to consider. Now we're going to get a little bit more news regarding the 49ers roster later, but first, a quick word from our sponsor, Underdog. Fast breaks, buzzer beaters, and block parties are back, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. Get your picks right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. This week on Underdog, I'm looking at 76ers at Pistons. I'm going to select Paul George for higher than 27.5 points plus rebounds plus assists, and Jalen Duren for higher than 9.5 rebounds. Download the app today and use promo code FOOTBALLFAN to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code FOOTBALLFAN. Underdog. Make picks, win money.
Must be 18 plus. 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska. 19 plus in Colorado for some games. 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia. And present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/play and get terms DFSTML for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 helpline at 1-878 or text HOMI 467-369.
So we learned a lot from the NFL owners meetings this past weekend. That's where nearly all of the news that I've talked about this entire week has come from. But I think one of the most interesting things that anybody 49ers related said at the owners meetings was this next tidbit right here. Both Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch had a lot to say regarding members of the 49ers 2024 draft class, especially cornerback Renardo Green. Now, Green was dangled in some trade rumors. There was a lot of buzz from ESPN and some members of the 49ers fan base that Renardo was being, offered up for trade. And that never made a ton of sense to me. And John Lynch actually addressed this rumor this weekend surrounding Green, saying, "We've never spoken to anyone regarding trading Renardo Green." And Lynch also mentioned that Raheem Morris is looking forward to working with Green, which is good news for me. I really like Renardo Green, and that puts that kind of trade rumor to bed. Now, it didn't come out of nowhere, this trade rumor, right? The Renardo Green had a pretty ugly moment in the last game of the season where he was temporarily benched in the Seattle Seahawks playoff game. But Kyle Shanahan showed faith in Renardo, referencing that benching in the playoff game, saying, "I thought he messed up on a coverage. I wanted to challenge him to do better. I believe so much in Renardo. I believe he will be a very good player." So not only John Lynch, but the entire team is backing Renardo Green, and it seems like Kyle in particular is giving him some tough love. Hopefully this is working for him and he can meet the challenge and really dominate next season, because I think he's extremely talented and he's got the skill set to do so. However, it does seem like they're high on Renardo Green, but unfortunately it does not seem like they are as high on a fellow 2024 rookie, Isaac Guerendo, at running back. When Kyle Shanahan was asked about why Guerendo wasn't able to help spell Christian McCaffrey last year, Kyle said this: "He just wasn't our second best runner last year." Yeah, and he might not have been the third best runner either. Isaac Guerendo got zero, count them, zero offensive snaps the entire season, including the playoffs. Despite the litany of injuries and things, Isaac Guerendo just could not find a way onto the field. And I get it. Christian McCaffrey was a beast. He was constantly available, constantly healthy. But still, you want a guy with Isaac Guerendo's speed and talent and home run threat ability to be able to get on the field, and it just seemed like he couldn't do that. And, a lot of people will dog on Kyle Shanahan for this, but in this case, I actually don't know that it's on Kyle here. I kind of wonder if Guerendo showed that he was ready for those opportunities. And I just don't think he's got a very good chance to make the roster heading into next season. He's going to need a really good year 3, a really good offseason, a really good training camp in order to sort of carve out a role for himself and really make himself a staple on this team. Because people forget, he was all right his rookie year. Had some clear deficiencies, not great vision, but his speed showed up on the field. He had multiple huge breakaway runs in real meaningful fourth quarters in regular season games. And I think that's a skill set that could be useful. I just think Isaac Guerendo needs to really lock in and unlock that in himself. If he doesn't, he might be a cut candidate. But let me know down below what you think about both these situations, Renardo Green and Isaac Guerendo, both kind of dealing with some tough love from the coaching staff. Who will respond? Who will not? Let me know down below in the comments section. And of course, speaking of the comment section, my favorite segment of every video is once again back. Thank you to everybody who commented. I read every single comment, every single one, even the ones that aren't featured. So if you would like to be featured in the comments section, all you got to do is leave a comment. The more you comment, the more likely you are to be featured. Kind of like a lottery ticket in that way. Special thanks to everybody who commented, and of course, a special thanks to the 3 who I have featured here today. Let's give some of my thoughts and opinions, though, starting with Greg, who says, "Lynch, York, Shanahan know there's a problem with the substation. They are just covering it up. There will be a lot of injuries this season, just like last season. Just watch. Just like last season. Just watch." Okay, bro. We'll see, I guess, right? That's kind of all I could say at this point. To me, this just kind of sounds like tinfoil hat conspiracy theory talk. I'll never understand that mindset. You've got John Lynch who's, putting his name and his face behind this report, that the substation is bogus. And I just don't understand, everything's got to be a conspiracy. Everything's got to be a cover-up. Nobody's telling you the truth. It just seems like kind of an exhausting way to live life, I tend to believe John Lynch when they hired a scientist. I believe him that the scientist, found that it was a nothing burger, as John Lynch called it. And And I'm glad that they took steps anyways, regardless of the substation, to improve the training staff and the training facilities. So, I really do. I've got trust in the organization, and I hope that the rest of the fan base does as well. Next comment from Paul. I would love if you did a Phoenix Suns platform. Devin Booker was also the first jersey I bought for the Suns. Then a CP3 jersey. Go Suns. Man, I wish I could do a Suns YouTube channel. Sadly, I am nowhere near smart enough or informed enough on Phoenix sports to be able to do that. I'm a Celtics fan. I don't know much about the Phoenix Suns history, but I do have respect for that team. Excuse me. Devin Booker, way back in the day in like 2016 or whatever, dropping 70 points on us. That was a really scarring moment for a young Celtics fan, Brady. But to watch a guy who spent a ton of time on like really bad losing rosters like Devin Booker, watching him go to the finals in 2021, that was really cool. I got a lot of respect for Devin Booker. Great player, great for the league. Really had a nice career. So shout out Devin Booker. Shout out the Suns. Shout out Arizona. There's a lot of Arizona products on this 49ers team, like Ricky Pearsall, Brock Purdy, Christian Kirk, Jacob Cowing. It seems like a pretty cool state. Last comment here from Robert. The quote substation drama was a fun topic for the imagination. I figured that Lynch and York were going in a different direction when they let the previous training staff go. Then the NFL's grade of a C- made everything clearer. I just hope it's enough and the injuries slow down. Me too, Robert. Robert also says, I was excited about the Hobbs move. It gives someone that has coverage skills closer to when we had Charvarius Ward. I was thinking of you doing a show about some of the, quote, bad draft picks or Niners that crashed out and ruined their career/trade value and how this affected the team's draft strategy. Well, Robert, are you thinking of one Brandon Ayuk? Just kidding. That would be a pretty fun show, but definitely pretty negative. I try to be positive on the show, and that seems like a pretty negative focus. But, if you want to see it and more people in the audience want to see it, I'm totally down to do a video like that later in the offseason, probably after the draft. We got a lot to talk about leading into the draft, and, after the draft ends, we'll really get into stuff like that and, kind of retrospectives and, it's nice. It's nice to hold the front office accountable and keep tabs on all the moves that they've made, good and bad. And I'm happy to do that once the draft is over. So let me know down below if you want to see an episode like that where I talk about some of the biggest mishaps of this front office tenure. So that's all for today's episode, folks. Do you think that Trent Williams is going to sign with the team before the draft, or you think it'll drag on into the summer? And who do you think is more likely to have a good season, Renardo Green or Isaac Guerendo? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you enjoyed this episode. Leave a comment, leave a like, and let me know if there's any topics that you would like to see me cover. Thank you all for watching, and subscribe for 49ers videos 5 days a week. I'm Brady Grustas, @GrustasBrady on X. This has been Niners Now, and I'll see you tomorrow.